What if being born in the United States is no longer enough to automatically make you an American citizen? That question has suddenly returned to the center of America's immigration debate after President Donald Trump signed two new executive orders targeting birthright citizenship, despite the Supreme Court ruling against his brother attempt to restrict the constitutional right. So, what exactly did Trump sign? Who could be affected, and can these new orders actually survive in court? Let's break it down. On August 6, 2026, President Donald Trump signed two executive orders aimed at restricting certain claims to birthright citizenship in the United States. The move is the latest chapter in Trump's long-running campaign to change how American citizenship is granted to children born on U.S. soil. Under the 14th Amendment, people born or naturalized in the United States and subject to U.S. jurisdiction are generally recognized as American citizens. But the Trump administration argues that the Constitution contains exceptions that allow the government to deny automatic citizenship in certain circumstances. And this time, the administration is focusing on narrower categories. One of the new orders targets children connected to certain foreign government employees and people classified by the government as alien enemies, including individuals linked to federally designated terrorist organizations. The administration argues that these circumstances fall outside the traditional understanding of birthright citizenship. The order also targets what the administration calls birth tourism, situations where foreign nationals allegedly travel to the United States primarily to give birth so that their children can obtain American citizenship. The second executive order focuses heavily on preventing birth tourism. It directs U.S. authorities to increase scrutiny of visa applicants where officials believe an applicant may be planning to travel to America primarily to give birth. The administration says the policy is intended to protect the value of American citizenship and prevent what it considers abuse of the immigration system. Trump's latest move comes only weeks after the Supreme Court delivered a major ruling on birthright citizenship. On June 30, 2026, the Supreme Court struck down Trump's earlier executive order that attempted to deny automatic citizenship to children born in the United States to parents who were undocumented or in the country temporarily. The court's ruling reaffirmed the broad principle that nearly everyone born on U.S. soil is an American citizen with only very limited exceptions. That makes Trump's new orders particularly significant. Rather than attempting to impose the same broad restriction that the Supreme Court rejected, the administration is now arguing that the court's decision still leaves room for narrower restrictions. In other words, Trump is testing the boundaries of what the Supreme Court's ruling allows. That is now the big question. Legal experts and civil rights groups are already challenging the administration's interpretation of birthright citizenship, arguing that the new orders could still conflict with the 14th Amendment and existing federal law. And because the Supreme Court has just ruled on the broader issue, these new policies could trigger another major legal battle. The courts may ultimately have to determine whether the categories targeted by Trump's new orders genuinely fall within the historical exceptions to birthright citizenship, or whether the administration is simply attempting to achieve through narrow orders what its previous policy could not accomplish. This isn't simply another immigration policy announcement. Birthright citizenship affects the legal status of children born in the United States and has been part of America's understanding of citizenship for generations. If Trump's interpretation survives legal challenges, it could represent a significant change in how citizenship is treated in certain circumstances. If the court rejects it, however, the administration could once again find itself blocked from implementing the policy. For now, the biggest story may be the legal battle that is just beginning. So, Trump has signed the others, but signing them does not necessarily mean the policy will take effect exactly as the administration intends. The Supreme Court has already rejected his brother's attempt to restrict birthright citizenship, and these new orders are likely to face their own legal challenges. The question now is simple. Has Trump found a legal path around the Supreme Court's ruling, or is this another immigration battle headed straight back to the courts? What do you think about Trump's latest move? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more major international and political news updates. Uche Jacinta, Eagles TV, Abuja.